you, of course, the best moment of the season for you so far, Miami. You took your first ever victory. Could you briefly just talk us through that special day, that special feeling?
Very special. Probably one I will remember forever. Hopefully one of what will be many, many wins, but yeah. A special weekend, just because it's that's what you dream of. It's what I dreamed of when I was a kid, was standing on the top step. And it's hard to know. It's hard to know what it feels like. So you imagine a lot of different things. And when you're third, when you're second, you're kind of just there. But when you win, you just feel on top of the world. And the fact it was the first win for McLaren in a while, and my first win, and I've been with the team for 6-7 years. It just feels it's very special. So it felt amazing. I still remember everything. I don't remember a lot from after, but during and before.
Why was that, probably?
I remember everything super well. So yeah, it was a very special weekend, and yeah, like I said, I'll remember that for a long time.
Kind of soon after you proved one-hit wonder, the Zandvoort victory followed. Yeah. But for some reason, you didn't seem that euphoric there. Why was that?
I'm just not that kind of guy.
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like I have to act if I'm very happy. But I don't feel like I need to jump up and down, and I don't know. It's just not me. I want to celebrate it with my team. I want to celebrate it with my engineers, but that's not something I need to do in front of a camera, in front of TV, and that kind of stuff. But it's magical. It's like I'm sure every win is just as special in many ways. And it was an incredible weekend. Pole position, the win, it wasn't my first. And I think, of course, there's a slight difference in this. So it was a different feeling, but it was still more like I'm happy, but it also felt like hopefully part of something bigger, which is I'm back in the championship. Maybe we have a chance to catch. But I've just never been a guy who celebrates that much. I'm smiling, but
you don't have to prove
I don't
it
have a
with
lot of actions, and doesn't mean I'm not happy. Like I'm so happy, and my team know it, and for me that's all I care about is I can celebrate and party with my team and have a good time and celebrate together. But I'm just not a guy of many actions.
Actions on track, and that is very good. But tell me, did anything change after that? Like, for example, did other drivers, or since that, approach you differently, or seen you differently, or more of a danger or something? I don't know. Have you experienced anything?
I don't know. Maybe ask them. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Yeah, I think for the people who already have some respect for me, I don't think it changed much, because I think it was more like, I think out of the people who have respect for one another, they know when someone deserves a win or can win, and if they're in a good car that they can win and stuff like that. And obviously I know that it's not whenever you're in a good car you win a race. I know it's a lot harder and a lot more complicated than that. But I don't think so. I think people have always treated me well, and even I felt like I had a good race with Max in Austria, even though the race didn't end how any of us wanted it to. It was still a good battle, and one that I enjoyed. I learned from, and just took on board to make me a better driver, because I still think there's many things I need to learn and improve on. I was a little bit more used to winning in Formula 2, Formula 3, but this is completely different to the world of Formula 1. And comparing, trying to beat Lewis, trying to beat Max, Fernando, these people who have been at the top of their game for years and who have been fighting for race wins and pole positions for years, and have been in Formula 1 for a lot longer than me, there's a lot more stuff that they know. They're a lot more experienced. And for me, there's still some new things that I'm finding every race. So for sure, I'm not at the perfect level. I don't think on every level I'm as good as what Max and Lewis are. I think on some aspects, yes, but as a complete driver, for sure they're ahead because they're more experienced, they're older, they've been in this situation a lot more. So there's always going to be those things I need to catch up on, but I feel I have the respect of these drivers, and I'm very happy with that.
That sounds very analytic from your
Yes.
side and very thoughtful. No,
Too much
I
talking.
really like that. But because that would be my next question, actually. If you yourself put more pressure on you now, as you know, you're in a winning car, that the game kind of changed.
I probably put a little bit more on myself. I don't think anything from the outside has changed. There might be more people talking about it and more questions, but for me, none of this translates to more pressure. And people might think there's more pressure, but for me, really, like I don't think of any of this. This doesn't affect me. The only person that I think affects me and what I think is myself. So I've always put pressure on myself. I'm always the one that's like honest with myself and honest with everyone. When I've done a bad job, when I do a good job, when I could have done better, when I've not done well enough. I've always said those things happily and honestly. And I've always done that, even when I was fighting for 9th and 10th and 5th. And I've always gone, yeah, this was terrible or this was good. I think I've added probably a little bit more to this now. I think I can deal with these bad times better than what I could before. But I still have the pressure on when I've not done the job that I know I can do. I'm not going to be happy. But that's me. This is how I want to live. This is how I do live. And people won't change that, you know. Maybe I'll tweak things a little bit, but I'm a driver who is happy with winning, and I'm not happy with anything else. And that's just how I work.
I really hope that nobody changes that from you, because it
Yes.
sounds very
thing, I
nice.
guess.
And I mean, we know the sport is so fast in general.
Yeah.
Like only like 1.5 years ago, you've been a midfielder. Now you're a title contender, and that really happened
changed
super
a lot.
fast. Is it something you sometimes also look back like, wow, when did that
Yeah.
happen?
I mean, even like this weekend, Baku last year, we were struggling a lot. Was before we started to change things, and you know, before we got to a place where we were quick at all. Now we're consistently very strong, you know. So we do remind ourselves as a team. I think we remind ourselves of where we were, where we are, because I think it's an important thing for people to remember, to show all of the hard work that we put in is paying off. It's not like we're in the same position. It's not like we've worked hard and we're in the same position. We've worked hard and we're doing a much better job. And this is all down to the team. So we remind ourselves of this because it's important to know, I think, where you were, the progress you made, and where you are now.
And where you go. And let's look back a little bit. I mean, the whole team is really strong also with Oscar. In the history, you always had strong teammates. You most of the time always control them. What kind of guy is Oscar, or what kind of teammate, or how tough is he to be a teammate?
I mean, very tough, because he's very quick. But he's very quiet. Doesn't talk a lot. Not very emotional. Like, not a lot seems to change him. He doesn't get super excited, and he also doesn't get super angry. And when he does, he doesn't show it a lot.
But then you're kind of similar, no? So it's a very
in some ways, I think so.
balanced team.
Yes, like we both hate doing the same things. We both love just the driving and that kind of thing. So, in some ways similar. I think we're still very different people. We drive very differently, but he's quick. Yes, he's a very, very strong teammate. But it doesn't change, again, what I do or how I drive. Like, I still have to just go out and drive as quick as I can. And if anything, I've done a better job this year than I did last year. So, but he's a good teammate. We get along, we have laughs, and we both are not here to finish anything but first. We both just want to win. That's all we care about. And I think in terms of our team goal and how we made the team go from where we were last year to where we are now, I think how we work together has played a big part in this too.
It seems so. The outcome, it seems like that. You said you're two different people, of course. Speaking about very different people, the leaders of the team is Zach and Andrea.
Yeah.
And they seem so different, actually.
Yes.
Is it that one is like the more serious guy and the other, I mean, I think
A
you
little.
know I'm talking about more the brother from another mother, the guy.
Yeah.
It looks from the outside. What is it really
It is a little
like?
bit. Yeah, I mean, Zach's a guy who enjoys his, like he's, I've probably never seen someone work more than Zach.
Okay.
I don't think there's many people in the world that probably work more than what Zach does. And I could probably put a bet on that there's not many people that work more than Zach. But he also wants to enjoy where he is. You know, he's probably living one of his dreams of running McLaren. What he's been able to do, of be the boss of McLaren from where they were many years ago to where we are now. This was his goal, and he's achieved it. But he also wants to have fun and enjoy every moment. And I think for me that's perfect, because for me that's a very similar thing. And he's also he's a driver, you know. He loves driving. He loves his cars, and that's something I also like. So we have a lot of fun with this. But like I said, one of the hardest workers I've ever seen. Andrea is like more like the school principal, you know. Keeps everyone in line, everyone in order. But one of the most thoughtful, interesting, again, hardworking people that I think I've ever met. So both great, I think, inspirations for me on learning from these guys and knowing how they work and that kind of thing. Both obviously very different roles, but I think both very good at what they do. Like when they need to work and get something from someone, they can do it. But also they know how to work with people. And I think that's the most important thing from our turnaround from where we were last year to where we are now, or where we were 5 years ago to where we are now, is that not a lot of other people changed that much. You know, a lot of the people we have who are running the team now have been in the team for many years. But it's how they work, who they work with, how do you get the most out of these people. And this is something that Andrea has been able to do far better than anyone else.
When things really get tough, who calls the shots? Is it Zach or is it Andrea? What would you say?
Like
when decisions really have to
I honestly, I don't know. I think they both, they talk with each other. But yeah, those times don't have to come, I think, ever so far. Hopefully never. But they work together very well. And I think, again, that's a very good thing.
Last question. It's, I think, 62 points that you're behind Max. I mean, it is still possible. It's a tough one, of course. What would you say? You said before you're here to win and nothing but winning. So is that the clear goal? Or would you, from the World Championship also, would you say second is best of the rest or first loser? How you see it?
I mean, it will still mean a lot. The second is amazing, but I don't feel like I've accomplished what I want to accomplish, you know. So it's the same with everyone. If you're not, it's true. If you're not first, you're last, and you still rather finish second than third and fourth, that kind of thing. But no one remembers second place. And our goal is only to win, you know. So this is the thing that will bring me the most joy and make me most proud, not just for me, but for the whole team. So it's clear our goal is to win both, and that's what we're working towards.
All the best for that. Thank you very much
No
for
problem.
an honest interview and everything. As always, thanks, Lando.